take a detour then to the call from Owen Hand to get called up to the Ireland squad. And we talked about that sense of Irishness always been there. Now suddenly you're getting called into the squad. And I think did you miss your brother's wedding?
I did.
Go play for Ireland?
Yes.
And question your commitment?
Yeah, well, actually, the first.
That front?
I got asked if I could play. Would I like to play? Yes, and then it was at the end. It was the competition in Japan at the end of the season. Would I join up and go and play in that? And of course, I didn't think it at the time, but now looking back, I know full well it's because a lot of the more senior pros were with their clubs or didn't want to travel to the Kirin Cup in Japan. Well, you know, that gave me a great opportunity, so I was never going to miss it. Never, ever.
You know, a few years later, Jack would come and everything would change, but could you see why? I mean, it was a squad full of talent, Liam Brady, Mark Lawrence and David O'Leary, Sheedy, Chris Hughton, Stapleton. Could you see why it had been falling short at that stage, or what did you make of it?
No, I can't, Tommy. I went in like I'm wet behind the ears as an international footballer. I went in as somebody who'd been called up, who was absolutely thrilled to be there, not really feeling like an international footballer. I have to say, I never felt out of place with the lads. The lads were great, very welcoming. At the time, I seem to remember that we stayed out in the Green Isle Hotel, my first trip, and everybody were getting pelters and they're down tools talking to the press. And when I think now, there was probably only about 5 pressmen that ever reported on it, and they were getting pelters. Liam Brady was getting absolute hammered from them and they said, right, we're not going to talk to him. So I've walked into this kind of. I'd have been loved to be asking how I felt, and I'd like to tell somebody. Yeah. And they'd almost gone on strike talking to him. When I look back now, I think there's about 5 reporters, and you think about all the outlets that report on football now, it is a completely different thing. And so having walked into, I just couldn't wait to get down to playing, just training. Yeah. Training with those lads was an absolute pleasure. It was a different level to what I'd been playing at, and I just couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to play. And of course, my first game was Poland at Dalymount, and it was. You know, it's hard trying to put words on it now to how I felt then. I was just beaming with pride. Actually, I'd been ill with diarrhoea and sickness for about 3 days, and I remember Owen saying to me, are you okay to play? It's all right, I was. And I played, I was all right. I mean, at 23, 24, you recover, you know, you're like that. And I was all right, and I played, and I loved it. It was just, it's hard to put words on it, to articulate it. And I said I loved it. It was just great pride to be playing. It was an awful game. It was a 0-0 draw.
Clean sheet. Clean sheet
for me, yeah. Correct. I put that one down. I came off and I gave myself a tick, clean sheet. Yeah. Boniek was playing. I remember, look back on Boniek, he was one of the world superstars at the time. Yeah.